Hi, we're here along the riverside where we live in Washington, and we're with St. Johnswort. Now, St. Johnswort is a perennial that flowers every year around the solstice. And if we pick the yellow flowers and crush it between your fingers, you get kind of a red or purplish kind of color. And you also know at St. Johnswort, if you take a leaf and hold it up in the sun and you see little perforations in the leaf, it's called Hypericum perforatum, is its botanical name. Now, you may know this as a poster child herb for depression. A lot of people use it for depression or nervous situations, and you can certainly use it for that, and you can make a tincture and use it for that reason. But we're going to talk about how we use it as an oil. And Kimberly, how do we use this as an oil?
Well, we pick the flowers and we infuse them in olive oil, and that oil then turns that red color that your fingers turn when you pick the flowers. And we use that oil with our children and ourselves as sunscreen during the summer months here in Washington. And it's something that we put on almost every day in the summertime, and it just seems to work with our skin to help with the sun exposure.
And also, you could use that same oil, let's say you're going on a hike, and you could put that on before the hike, and it really helps with the aches, muscle aches. So then, you know, the next day after a hike when you're just so tight and you have all that muscle tension, it actually, if you put that on before, you'll prevent that. But you can also use it as a remedy for that if you went on a hike and had sore muscles. Now, what about sunburn?
Well, we also put it on if the kids get sunburn. We could put it on their skin after the sunburn, and it will help soothe it and heal the sunburn. Yeah,
and there's just so many things that you can do with St. Johnswort. So we'll show you in a bit how on another video how to make oil with it. Now, St. Johnswort is in the St. Johnswort family, and there's 5 petals and the yellow flowers. And I'm going to crush this up, and you're going to see my fingers turn purple. Crush some more. It's opposite branching, meaning the leaves are on opposite on the main stem, and the leaves are whole. There's no tubes or divided or anything. And these are the little leaves that if I hold these up to the sun, I can see little tiny perforations in them. And so when you're harvesting it, in a dry place where there's lots and lots of it, you can harvest it by the stalk and take it home and then strip off the flowers later. You can even use the branches in a bath or in a tea or something, or even dry them for various purposes. But on the west side here, where I don't have a lot of it and I want to harvest it year after year, I'm very mindful to not take the whole plant and just kind of leave it alone so it'll flower next year. So when I put my hands over the flowers like this and I pull up my hands like that, I strip flowers off in my hand, and right here on the plant there's a lot of flowers left, so there's a possibility that it will seed rather, and they may spread. But in any case, it's a perennial, so it'll grow back here the next year, we hope. So that's how I harvest it here in Western Washington, though in other places you can do it differently.